Hi, this is Conscious Flow. I'm Leon. This channel is for helping you see your stuttering as a positive force, as a teacher, rather than an enemy. Today I'd like to talk about the relation between stuttering and silence. Most stutterers tend to plan what they want to say. They plan it ahead so they don't have blocks. They might formulate something in their head. They might reformulate it if they think they'd block on a particular sound, or they'd plan on avoiding certain situations. And then after avoiding them, they judge themselves for it. So, as you may have noticed, any and all of this kind of mental activity is it's not just useless, it's like actively in the way of peace and happiness in a major way for most of us stutterers. What if you dropped all that? What if, as opposed to thinking obsessively about stuttering and trying to come up with explanations for it, such as the day after my guinea pig died when I was 4, I started stuttering, so this is definitely a trauma thing and I need to do this and that to fix it. What if you dropped all these stories, simply stopped believing them, and entered a state of silence anytime that your busy thinking mind starts to spin in circles around stuttering or really any other topic that you don't really want to think about. Of course, this is not always an easy thing to do. It's perhaps not a natural thing because it takes some trust to just say whatever pops into your mind before you actually think it. And that's the key. You need to say stuff before you actually think it and have it sort of printed in your forehead as these are the words I want to say. So if you just wait and trust and let go of the urge to control what you say, how you say it, when you say it, then you'll still speak. You'll not just be a mute person. If something needs to be said, you'll say it eventually, and it'll be okay. It's okay to take all that stress away and to simply see what the present moment has got for you and what you need to say in it. Something that's really helpful with this, at least for me, is to meditate in the probably easiest and least dogmatic way imaginable, just to listen to the silence that is below all sounds and all thoughts and all emotions, because it's always there. Anything that's loud inside of your mind comes from silence and goes into silence. And it's perhaps natural to listen to the loudest voice inside of the mind. That's usually the ego that says something like, I want to be really rich and I want to have all of these really cool things, and certainly don't want to stuttering because it's uncomfortable. So So what if instead of listening and identifying with this loudest internal voice, you started identifying with the silence that brings all of this content forward but isn't really attached to or dependent on any of it, because nothing will ever be able to break silence. There might be some sense of obligation to fix the stuttering in some way. Like there might be a voice inside of you saying, I need to control my stuttering. I want to say whatever I want to say, whenever I want to say it, to whomever I want to say it, and I better make sure that there is no stuttering block in it. I need to repair this is my responsibility. If I don't do it, it's not going to happen. It's me versus this. And that's normal, that's natural. It's also not true. And in fact, this can be actively in your way when it comes to attaining spontaneous fluency. Because have you noticed that whenever you speak without an intention, without trying to impress anyone, without trying to gain anything, without any pressure, then you can speak perfectly fluently without any effort whatsoever. This may not be the case for every stutterer, but it seems to be true for many. On a positive note, I'd like to mention that being in silence is totally underrated, and it's really peaceful there, which of course doesn't only apply to speaking situations. You can connect to a sense of stillness at all times, and it's often just much better than to listen to all the ramblings of the mind and to identify with all of that garbage. So why not see the positive side of the stuttering in the sense that it kind of forces you into these states of silence, because it just becomes so annoying to argue with it and to think about it all the time, that at some point there's just nothing else to do but to stay silent. And that's good in most situations. So inner peace to all of you. As an exercise for this, why don't you do the following? The next time you speak to somebody, preferably somebody you're comfortable with, you just don't speak from a place of stress or pressure, thinking that you have to say something because it would be awkward not to, or you have to make the other person think this and that of you, or you need the other person to do this and that for you. And instead you just stay silent, internally and externally, and you wait and stay patient, and you see what happens. When I do this, there comes a point where I just open my mouth. It just happens. It happened in the beginning of this video. I had absolutely no idea what I was going to say here. So I just sat in front of the camera for, 2 minutes, said nothing, had no clue what to do, what to say, what content to share with you, and I just waited until my mouth opened. And now, look at me, I'm saying something. Isn't that great? And the same might just happen to you spontaneously. The thing is that it won't come from a place of pressure. It won't be the thing that the loudest voice inside of your head wants to say. It will come from a place of silence and a place of your personal truth. So, yeah, why not try this instead of forcing yourself through stuttering blocks, trying to control every bit of it. My God, that's exhausting. This may not always work, and in fact it's quite difficult in stressful situations. That's why I advise to start with somebody who you feel very comfortable with, preferably in a low stress situation, low noise. Just wait and see what happens. Just open your mouth and something will come eventually. Also, I'd like to stress that this is really, really not rocket science in any way. This is not complicated. This is nothing that you even have to think about in the slightest way. In fact, if you try to make this into a concept and try to own this and use it as a strategy against stuttering or anything else that may bother you, it's not going to work, because the only way it will work is in your direct, spontaneous experience. There can be no plan involved in it. There can be no strategy. There can be no intention for this whatsoever. If you're free of an intention and you just roll with whatever comes, then this may just work for you. I wish you all the best in trying this and hope to see you again soon. Bye for now.